Hi guys and welcome to episode 20 of Giant Killers, and it's a season review episode, our second season in charge of Alessandria, and obviously we got relegated, but let's go through the awards first of all. So we've had a few players inducted into the overall best 11. Niall Mason, Axel Gulen, Lucas Capuzzi and Stefano Russo. So well done to them. End of season awards, Manuel Maris wins it again. I think he won it last year as well. So that'll be 2 years in a row. Christian Sosa just behind him, and then Nico in third. Gianluca Nico with goal of the season against Empoli at the start of the season. Signing of the season was Luca Vido, on loan from AC Milan, and then Manuel Maris was young player of the season. And in terms of our season review, it says that Alessandria had been expected to be amongst the relegation candidates heading into the season, and things went exactly as anticipated, with Grigi ultimately succumbing to the drop. Don't really think it went down like that. We were mid-table for the majority of the season. It's just that bad run of form near the end that lost it for us. And of course we lost in the third qualifying round of the Italian Cup, but that met expectations in that competition. I did do the end of season team meeting, and I said that I believe we can get promoted next season as long as all the players don't start demanding transfers, which then gave the response of the majority of players saying that they were going to leave the club in the summer. So that's what they think, but we'll have to get some pretty good amounts of money for me to allow them to leave, because I certainly feel this team can achieve promotion again. And then my end of season confidence review isn't too nice to look at. Very insecure, my job status. They're disappointed mainly with the team getting relegated from Serie B, which is understandable. But they think that Luca Vito was a good signing, and the fans have been pleased with Nico's form. I then had to decide the start date for pre-season, and to punish the majority of the team for saying that they wanted to leave the club, they're going to have to do 7 weeks of pre-season, the maximum that I could possibly do. Then this news item came up saying that Nancy Lorraine are after Alex Siri. £180,000 is what he's valued at, but they're going to have to pay a hell of a lot more than that to take him away from us, because he's our starting centre back, even though he was one of the players that said that he wants to leave. Then we received this news item. So we did put relegation release clauses in a few people's contracts. Some of them I'm regretting, some of them not so much. So Nico, Bonaperti, Maris, Parisi, Alborno, Wolski and Tully have all got the clauses in their contracts. However, I believe it's Maris and Bonaperti who are actually valued at more than their relegation release clause now. Yeah, Maris is valued at 300k. His release clause is 275. I have tried to sign the new contracts, but they don't want to be at the club, so they're not really going to do that. And then Filippo Bonaperti's value is the same as his relegation release clause. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't complain at all. I mean, Rafa Wolski is one of our better players, but 2.1 million would be lovely for the club's finances. Speaking of which, minus 334,000, that's not too bad. However, we're currently spending £56,000 a week on wage budget, and for next season that has been lowered to 42,504. So we are going to have to sell a few players. The financial status is okay, but I imagine it's projected to, yeah, that's really bad. Minus 10.26 million at the end of the 2018-19 season is not the way that we want our finances to be. So we'll just have a look at the Italian Serie B final league table. So we knew already that Carpi and Cesena won promotion to Serie A, but Provercelli won the playoffs to gain themselves promotion. So that I think Carpi and Cesena actually came down from Serie A last season, but then Provercelli didn't. Atlanta were the third team. So a new team up in Serie A in the form of Provercelli. And then I think all four of these teams actually gained promotion from Serie C last year. Pisa, Catanzaro, Alessandria and Bassano all getting relegated. Bassano losing to Trapani in the relegation playout. In terms of Serie A, so champions, of course, Juve by a clear margin, like nearly 20 points clear of second place Roma. Inter were in third. Then in the Europa League spots, Udinese, Lazio and AC Milan. Our parent club Napoli finishing a disappointing 12th. Novara, Spezia and Cagliari all getting relegated from Serie A. In Serie C A, Parma have gained promotion, so we actually avoid playing them. That is the league that we were in, They were in Serie D when we were in that league, then they gained promotion, and we were in Serie B. Now we've been relegated, they've climbed above us. Also, Renat have been relegated alongside Triestina and Daytona. I think Triestina and Daytona must have been the other two teams to come up with Parma. In the playoffs are Cittadella Reggiana and Pavia. In Serie C B, champions of Spal. In the Teramo have been promoted. In the playoffs are Rimini and L'Aquila. Lucchese, Prato and Siena got relegated. And then finally, in the Italian Serie C, champions are Lecce. They must have been relegated from Serie B last season. Catania, Matera and Casatana getting into the playoffs. Chieti, Reggio Calabria and Messina all getting relegated from Serie C. Let's just take a quick look at the top divisions that have got active on the game around the world. It's not really around the world, it's around Europe. So Chelsea won the Premier League, Tottenham, Man United and Man City rounding off the top four. So Arsenal actually missing out on Champions League football there. Liverpool and Arsenal getting the Europa League. And relegated with Norwich, Derby County and Nottingham Forest. Just see who's got promoted from the Championship. So Leeds are back in the Premier League thanks to playoff final victory over West Bromwich Albion. And then Watford and Brighton are the other two teams to go up from the Championship. In Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain just winning the title on goal difference. What a close run. And then Monaco are in third on 86 points. So Paris Saint-Germain champions, Marseille and Monaco take their 2 Champions League spots. Then the 3 Europa League spots go to Lyon, Bordeaux and FC Lorient. Relegated were Troyes, Onavant de Guingamp and Bastia. Bundesliga time, and there's quite a lot of Europa League qualifiers in the Bundesliga. Bayern have clearly won the Bundesliga by just about 20 points. Leverkusen in second, Dortmund in third, Schalke in fourth, grabbing the Champions League spots. Then the Europa League spots to Wolfsburg, Hannover, Hoffenheim and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Werder Bremen have been relegated alongside Hertha Berlin. It's quite a big club to get relegated, Bremen. And then finally, Spain. Spain have got 5 Champions League places. Someone must have won the Champions League. So Real Madrid, champions, 4 points clear of second place Barcelona. Atletico Madrid in third, Sevilla in fourth, and Valencia in fifth, all of them grabbing Champions League qualification. Villarreal, Athletic Bilbao and Levante getting themselves into the Europa League for next season. And then relegated was Zaragoza, Granada and Sporting Gijón. So just take a look at the individual stats for the players in Serie B. So top goal scorer chart, we've got Michel Marconi in joint fourth with 22 goals. Anyone in the most assists? Nope. Just see if there's anyone in any of the other ones. Alex Siri is joint fourth with most key tackles. He's got 30 key tackles. It's very nice to see. That's why we don't want him to leave. Thankfully, he didn't have a relegation release clause. Otherwise, we would have been in deep doo-doo. I would take over $1 million for him if anyone wants to offer that. Roberto Sabato is eighth in the most tackles per match category with 5.26 tackles per game. And that's it in terms of the player stats. So we'll have a look at the team. Don't think we're going to be in any of them. Definitely not in the least conceded. Best at hitting target. We're 7th in that, 41%. But obviously they mustn't have been going in. It's nice to see us in the top 8 for something though. Not going to be in anything else, are we? Fouls made. Well, that's a great one to be in. Third in number of fouls made. 564 fouls. Nothing compared to Trapani's 715, however. Okay, so let's take in a bit of a more in-depth look at how our team's done this season. So the player that played the most games is Manuel Maris. He's played 41. Obviously, club legend. I'll have to check in a second to see if he's still a club legend. He should be, really. I want to see if Marconi's going to get a club legend status too. So yeah, Maris with 41 appearances, and then, well, Nico kind of with 41 appearances, 1 off the bench, and Sosa with 39. However, Marconi has come off the bench 6 times, so he's had 42 appearances. Top goal scorer is obviously Michel Marconi with 23 goals, and second is Maris with 7, and then Nico with 6. In terms of assists, has Sosa kept his? Yes, he has. Sosa is still top assist maker, 9 assists in 39 games. Second place is Michel Marconi, so not only is he scoring goals, he's making them too. Then Player of the Match awards, most of them, 6 going to Michel Marconi, 4 to Sosa, and 3 to our player on loan from AC Milan, Luca Vido. Highest number of yellow cards, Alex Siri with 17. Oh dearie me, when you're nearly hitting 20 yellow cards, you know that you must be playing it a bit rough. And most red cards to Massimo Leviso, who complained both times that I actually fined him for getting sent off. Everyone else, the other 2 players that got sent off in the season, Alex Siri and Rafa Wolski, accepted their fine and they were like, yeah, I understand. I did make a bit of an error, boss. But Leviso, no, he just couldn't see that it was his fault. Highest average rating, well, Luca Vido. He only played 21 games. Then Rafa Wolski. Then Gianluca Nico, of the players that played over 30 games for us, is the best performer. Now, I have had a look at the squad, and this is obviously all going to change when we inevitably receive offers for players that have the relegation release clause. But as of now, I'm thinking that we need to buy a centre-back because we aren't going to get Manfred on loan again, and we can't afford to buy him for the fee that I put in the contract, which is 1.8 million, I think. Nicola Bianchetti, he's good. He's very good. He's a good young player, but we need backup. Santiago Moreira, obviously retiring in this month, I think, if he hasn't retired already. No, he's still there. Santiago Moreira retiring, so we're going to have to get a new centre-back in for him. And the only other thing that I want to do, really, is I want to start bringing Parisi in for Sosa, because Sosa, some of his attributes are starting to decline. In fact, that's got worse since the last time I looked at it. Majority of his attributes are starting to decline. He is 32. He's probably able to start the majority of the games, but I do want to try and start to bring Agostino Parisi in. I mean, he's been, since we bought him, he's not really done much. He's played 6 times all season. He's got quite a good average rating. It's just that Sosa has been superb since day one, really. So, like I said, the only transfers that I think we need to make is a centre-back. I can see a few people leaving, so we'll have to replace them as well. I think, was it Adriano Mezzavia who's retiring? He's retiring in a year, so he's retiring at the end of 2018. But I think we've got plenty of centre midfielders to cover for him. I'm going to try and not utilise as many loans. I might try and get a few from parent club Napoli if they've got any good players. But other than that, I'm hoping to maybe get some money in for some of the players that don't want to be here. If we can get big money, then they can leave. But if we can't, then they're going to stay. And they're going to play their hearts out to try and get Alessandria back into Serie C. So just looking at the legends, icons and favoured personnel again, I am still, myself and Christian Sosa are still regarded as favoured personnel as of this moment. I don't know whether that's going to change come the end of June, if they change it then. I don't know when they change all these things, but Manuel Maris is also still a club legend, and that's the only ones that are there. We were predicted to finish 19th. That would have been us safe. Well, that would have been us in the relegation playout. It would have been better than where we finished, but whatever. I thought that said Carlisle for a second. I was losing my mind. So finally, we'll just look at how we did against board expectations. So we were expected to reach the third qualifying round of the Italian Cup. We did that. The board were quite happy with that. But then we were expected to avoid relegation from the league, and we certainly didn't do that. So I think it appears that I'm safe in my job, if not for anything else other than that they can't afford to end my contract. And my contract obviously runs until June, the end of June next year. So I imagine if we don't get promoted next season, they'll probably sack me. But I'm looking forward to another season in charge of Alessandria. Hopefully we can just bounce straight back up to Serie B and not have to go through any playoffs or anything like that. Hopefully the majority of our players will stay, and the ones that don't, I hope we can get some big money for them. So that is it for this episode 20, season review for season 2 of Giant Killers. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment below. Subscribe to my channel to get all my content when it comes out. And I'll see you next time.